Oof, I got a case of the giggles in the middle of that.
Is that because you're the best around?
Nothing's gonna ever kick you down. Just all you hear is like 80 cymbals.
I love that. Wait, is it nothing's ever gonna kick you down or keep you down?
I never sing the correct song lyrics, but I think it's keep you down.
Well, I say, I'ma bring you down. I say bring you down. So I don't know.
You were also like scratching your ear like it was like an actual like tabletop.
Like a DJ?
Yeah, I was like, Nicky. Okay. So we are not gonna talk about Sopranos. Oops, I said it.
Oops, take a sip.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hi there.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hiya! Actually, they don't really say hiya. Yeah, they go like,
Daniel son, power in 1 inch.
Oh boy, okay.
Well,
it's gonna be a lot of grunting in this episode.
Have you watched the Olympics, like karate?
No, I didn't.
It's a lot of, like, hugging. It's not as cool as the movies.
Nobody gets their leg broken in half on the floor?
And there's no cool crane moves. I believe that's illegal.
Well, there were also a lot of illegal things happening in this movie, and I was confused about the rules, but
no.
I don't know. Listeners!
Okay. Yes.
Welcome back!
Welcome back!
I'm gonna introduce ourselves so you know who these karate fans are. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And sweep the leg, Johnny!
Put him in a body bag!
Yo, that kid, they all needed chill pills.
Okay. The only time we see drugs in this movie is when the evil kid is rolling a joint. Johnny.
Yep.
But the entire movie, they seemed like they were snorting buckets of cocaine.
And also, like, injecting steroids.
Holy
aggressively.
Cow. Every line I have is psycho.
I wrote that too.
Psychos!
Wait, and Bridge, what's our movie filled with psychos?
The 1984 classic, The Karate Kid.
Hi-ya! Oh,
3
man.
ninjas eat your heart out.
Listen, I gotta say, I mean, actually, I kind of feel like 3 Ninjas had a little bit more combative karate. But this was like kind of scary karate sometimes. So this didn't have like silly like sound effects like 3 Ninjas.
No.
Where it'd be like, woo! Like someone like trips. Yeah, no. It wasn't that bad.
Well, we've deemed most of our movies in the 80s are very dark and parents' authority figures don't exist. And this was the quintessential bullying, no one's gonna help you. So now you have to take on karate to fight for your life.
That's the only way you're gonna make it out of junior year of high school. I don't know. What? Also, there's a line in this movie that I thought was really funny and very applicable to kind of explain all the craziness of this movie. At the part in the movie where he gets the car and then he goes and he talks to Allie and she's like, oh my god, what? And he's like, you drive the car. And she's like, me? And then his response is, yeah, it's fine. It's the 80s. I'm sorry. Is that make it okay? Is that what? That's like the get out of jail free card? Is to reference what decade we're in? Okay.
Oh,
now I understand the movie. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to challenge you, Kate. Can you do a synopsis for this? Wow. Was that your wine karate noise?
That was a big sip of wine. Do some fence painting with my...
Lots of wrist. I mean, listen, you put some makeup on him. This is a drag queen show.
Agreed. I would throw some dollars at him if I saw him at the Friday Night Drag Show. I'm just saying. Okay, so as I look at my notes, I realize that even though we just said we're not going to reference The Sopranos, go make a Sopranos reference because our movie starts out in Newark, New Jersey.
It's very important that we put the month September.
I guess it is, but like, is that important?
So
I don't
bizarre.
think so. Honestly, that beginning, like, I mean, as you did too, like, went to school, like college and grad school in states that were not New Jersey, and everyone's perception of New Jersey, if they're not from New Jersey, is Newark, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. They all think it's like pollution and power plants, and there are no blades of grass. And this movie did not help with that stereotype, because that's literally all you see in the beginning. And honestly, did we need to see that? Because then they just literally get a car and drive away because they're leaving. So why did we do that? And so it starts off with Daniel, who is, I'm guessing, like 16.
Yeah, because he gets his license. Let's assume his license is 16, 17?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, okay. So he lives with his mom. She's a single mother, and it's just them. And they are moving to California. Mom got a new job, so they're moving there. He's not too excited about it, because it's like, man, I'm gonna move. Life sucks. And he's like moving across country, so that is what it is. He gets to California, and he meets a couple people pretty quickly. He meets this one guy who I don't even know if he has a name.
Freddie Fernandez.
Who?
Freddie Fernandez.
Okay. Freddie's a jerk, as are 90% of the people in this movie. So he meets this guy, Freddie, and Freddie's like, oh my god, wow, great to meet you. Thanks for hitting me in the face with a door. Anyway, let's be best friends. Come play soccer with me tomorrow. And you're like, cool, he made a friend. He also then meets our king queen star, Mr. Miyagi.
Okay.
We love him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really say much. So all we know is he's kind of like a handyman at the apartment complex that him and his mom just moved into. So right away then, he's like, all right, next day I'm going to hang out with my new best friend, and they're playing soccer on the beach. He meets a lady. They are literally at the beach for, I think, 10 hours. Like, this was a very long beach day. I didn't see many snacks or water, so I'm a little worried about these children. But he meets a girl, and then they're kind of like, oh, I'm gonna know each other. And then, dun, 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 we meet the bullies.
Kate, I'm so sorry, but it's Jimmy. It's our brother. He looks just like him.
You said that. I don't remember if I kept that in the last episode.
Oh my God.
I remember you saying that, and then I was thinking about it as I watched the movie. He kind of looks like him, but like when Jimmy had
younger
long hair.
Yeah, when he was in high school.
Oh, well, thank God our brother did not have a scary motorbike, because I gotta go. But basically, he's with a gang, and I'm calling them a gang because it is not okay. We need some police officers up in here because something's happening. They see all the children hanging out, and then he sees the girl, and the girl, her name is Allie. She's hanging out with Daniel, and Allie is his ex-girlfriend, and his name is Johnny, and Johnny gets super jealous. He literally speeds down on a motorbike, and then basically goes from 0 to 100, as most of these scenes do, where he like smashes her stereo, and then he beats up Daniel, and it all happens in like 30 seconds, and I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Definitely.
And then they motorbike away and like spit sand on Daniel, because these people are actually, I think, serial killers in the making.
Yes.
So this could be a prequel to a horror movie. I'm just saying, if anyone wants to take the reins on that, there you go. We've got some good inspo.
The Cobra Kai.
The Cobra Kai. Wait, I told you in the last episode too, and I think I edited this out because I had to do a lot of editing. There is a series on Netflix called Cobra Kai, and it's about Johnny as an adult, but he's actually like he's not a bad guy anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so it's supposed to be like a different perspective, something. something on it.
Interesting.
I actually heard it's really good, so I might actually check that out when I finish The Sopranos. But anyway.
Or this synopsis.
Yeah, so, one day the synopsis will end and we'll all finally know what's happening.
It's as long as the road trip from Newark to California.
Yeah, or longer. Okay, so basically, the whole gist of kind of the first half of the movie is Daniel's getting beat up.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Also, his friend that was his best friend, Freddie Fernandez, literally is like, you're a loser because you got punched in the face? What? Okay, so Daniel has no friends, and basically he just keeps getting beat up. And then he's like, I like Allie, and she's like, I like Daniel, but for some reason they don't date because he keeps getting beat up, and it's weird. And then this leads up to him and Mr. Miyagi start to get to know each other a little better. They're kind of doing some little bonding, some pretend father, pretend son, like a Terminator 2, father figure, if you will.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Miyagi's like, yo, it's Halloween. Don't be a loser. Go to your high school dance. And he's like, no, I don't want anyone to see me. So the movie didn't show us this, but I'm just assuming Mr. Miyagi then made him the coolest Halloween costume in the world, which is, he's a shower? Is that how you describe that?
Yes.
So he's a shower, so he's inside the shower, so you can't see him. But this is an important plot point because he tries to pull a prank on Johnny, who, him and his friends, again, dressed as serial killers, are wearing scary skeleton costumes and makeup, and I'm afraid. But they go to beat him up, and this is where Mr. Miyagi, ninja style, flies into the scene, and he does actual karate. And I don't know if you read a lot of fun facts, but it looked like it was him doing these things. Whereas in Three Ninjas, we knew that was not Grandpa. We knew that was a 20-year-old man with a pillow in his shirt. But this looked like Mr. Miyagi, like doing some of this stuff. And it wasn't like a long scene, but he basically beats up the children. And you know what? I don't hate it because they're scary. So thank you, sir. So this is important because this is where Daniel then basically was like, yo, you know karate. I like karate because I guess Daniel did a little karate or some weird stuff. And then he was going to try to go join the karate studio, but it's really scary and run by a potential Nazi. So he doesn't. So, and then he's like, oh, Mr. Miyagi, you should teach me karate. Mr. Miyagi's like, I don't think so. And he's like, please. And then he's like, okay, fine. Then he's like, let's go to the scary karate place. So we go. And we see the really scary guy who's like also on a lot of steroids. Ooh. I hope. Oh. I don't know how else to explain the behavior because he is like a psycho. This leads to Mr. Miyagi being like, all right, here's the deal. Daniel's gonna compete in this karate tournament, which is happening in like less than 2 months. It takes place in like a month and a half because we saw Halloween. Yep. And then it's November and then the thing is in December.
Yeah. So, and this takes me back to my timeline that he left New Jersey in September.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a weird trade-off. But then he does say, he's like, your kids can't beat up my foster kid while he's training. And then the guy's like, deal. And you're like, this is a weird deal. We could have just got the police involved, maybe. I don't know. Something. But this is what leads them to then do karate. And Mr. Miyagi, his form of karate is do all of my household chores, but with like certain karate techniques. And then you'll also like do some balancing kind of. And like, that's a little bit it. And then some punches. We never see him like learning how to kick though, which I thought was really interesting. So.
Wait, we do see him kick. He has to kick the ocean. Remember? He learns balance and has to kick the waves in the ocean.
Right. Oh, how could I forget? Okay. Yep.
You're almost there, Kate. You're almost there. Okay.
Oh, God. So, and then whatever, there's like stuff with Allie and like we don't care. And then the mom kind of isn't in the half of the movie. So like whatever. So now we're at the tournament and Daniel's like, I'm not gonna win. Whatever. And then he literally wins all his matches immediately and he gets to like the semifinals. And so the semifinals, it's 2 pairs and the scary guy who may or may not be our brother goes first. He wins pretty quickly and you're like, wow. And then it's Daniel versus another Cobra Kai kid and the scary Cobra Kai man is like, yo, like just beat him up basically. And then the kid's like, but I'm gonna get disqualified. And he's like, I don't care about your life. I just care about hurting children. And you're like, ah! So that little kid does that. and he literally, like, snaps Daniel's leg in half, and I hated it. I hated looking at it. I hated all of it. So then you're like, Daniel's out. But, like, the girl Allie and his mom, and even Mr. Miyagi, they're all, like, super supportive. They're like, you know what? You did such a great job. Like, you did your best, and, like, that's so awesome. Look how far you got. And then Daniel's like, wah, blah, blah, blah. And then he's, like, all sad, and he's like, do you think I could have won, Mr. Miyagi? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, do you think I could have? Because he's like, be my dad. I have no dad. And then Mr. Miyagi's like, I think you could have. And then Daniel's like, I want to do it. And then Mr. Miyagi, I don't know what kind of friggin' witch magic Mr. Miyagi has, but he's got something happening because he gets Daniel back in to compete in this final round with a broken leg. And then the scary guy is like, sweep the leg! And he sweeps the leg, but somehow that doesn't disqualify it. And then Daniel does the secret crane move that we learned on a beach pole, and then he wins. And then it ends with Mr. Miyagi making the funniest face I've ever seen in my life. And I want to make that too many people.
Oh my god, but now I can't stop picturing his face. I totally have the giggles.
So
I have the giggles right now. This is not good. Like,
it's so funny.
Oh my god. He is definitely has to be another shirt.
I just want his face.
And all we're gonna put on it is drink up. Because you know how he, like, forces him to drink alcohol when he's drunk?
Oh, there was a lot of questionable things, like, being done and said. And, yeah, a couple felonies were committed.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
It's the 80s!
It's
fine!
The 80s.
As they say.
Oh my god. Well, I thought you did a great job talking about how there was no reason to start in this part of New Jersey to only end up in what looks like the part of California.
Because you know what it is, too? They reference a lot, like, oh, you're from Jersey. So you didn't really need to, like, see they were literally leaving Jersey. Because this movie was 2 hours, which honestly I was surprised to see. I was expecting like an hour and a half.
Honestly, you and I, we would take out the entire love story and it would be an hour and 12 minutes long and it would be just as good. It would be just as good.
I didn't actually hate this love story.
No, you could keep it not as long.
Yeah, there were parts where I was like, this is stupid. We don't need like this nonsense going on in here. Absolutely.
Not as long. So, you know, you feel bad for him because, like, who wants to move across the country? And then she's promising him a pool and she's like, she's very toxic positivity vibes.
Oh, yeah.
It's great! Everything's great! I was like, you're annoying.
And he, like, calls her out on that at one point. He's like, what am I gonna say? Like, I'm not happy when you keep being like, do you like it? Do you like it? And, like, when he's, like, upset and like, throwing his bike out and stuff. I'm like, yeah, teach your mom a lesson.
Yeah.
Adults need to learn things, too.
You have to parent your parent, folks.
You do. It's really sad. Maybe one day you won't need to. But...
And then you end up having a podcast talking about nostalgia. It's called self-care. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like, first of all, the whole thing you talked about with the guy Freddie was so annoying. The only purpose was to meet Allie and then like wrong place, wrong time that her ex-boyfriend sees you and he was trying to like say like don't break her radio and stick up for her, which I thought the rest of the people should do. And that catapulted the whole bullying subplot and I was like, he could have also like ran into him at school. Like we didn't need that whole other thing.
I was trying so hard to like follow because I really did not understand like why Johnny was so angry at her because he was like, I want to talk to you. And then I guess he like turned the radio off. And then I guess he hated the radio and then he like threw it to the ground and it exploded. And I was like, wow, that was like really scary. Also, we find out later you go to the same country club as her. So I feel like you have multiple opportunities to like talk to this person. I don't know why it has to be like right this moment right now. Like Johnny's on his way to committing domestic violence. So
or already has. And I'm afraid.
Already has.
Like, are his parents alive or are they dead?
So I'm telling you guys, listeners, if anyone's a movie maker, you have a horror movie in the making right here. Johnny, his parents were dead the whole time, and he's just a little teen living his own life, and he is killing people, and nobody knows it! And then also his karate instructor is also a murderer, because obviously.
100%. That's where he learns it from.
It was so
And for being caught with weed later on in the movie, you think he'd be more chill.
Does he get caught with weed? When's that?
Well, he's not like caught. He's trying to roll a joint and then Daniel puts the water on him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets mad. But I'm like, you? A joint? No, you're all hopped up on cocaine and, as you say, steroids. And I'm so afraid of all of them.
Okay, but honestly, that scene where he is in that stall and he had the headphones on, I thought he was pooping. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, he must be pooping because he's got, I don't know, why else are you listening to headphones on the toilet? Like, you're just trying to pass the time? And then, no, he's doing drugs. Like, what? It's so weird.
No adults.
No adults.
No one's ever in trouble. Every kid is showing up with black eyes, broken bones, and all the teachers are like, let me tell you about a lecture on history. Like, nobody cared. Oh, I gotta tell you that I was referencing a lot of movies. The Beach Party, I kept thinking about Danny Zuko.
And Sandy.
And then when they rode in with their motorcycles, I thought about the Grease Scorpion and the Evil Crew. And I just was like, this is hilarious to me that this is the setup. And wow, I know now why years and years and years of anti-bullying has happened, because this was like normal, because that's terrifying.
It's like really scary. Also, when they had to keep like pushing the car to get it to run, I was like, Little Miss Sunshine. Y'all doing a Little Miss Sunshine right now.
Same.
Running with the car.
Well, I think Little Miss Sunshine did them. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Yes, wow, I referenced that same thing. There's one other movie we'll eventually get to and I'll reference it. But 80s music then makes it all feel better.
Okay, they play the one song, I think it's Cruel Summer, when they're going to, like, school. It's like the first day of school. And then the entire song plays. Like, it turns into like a music video for that song. It goes all the way from the start of school to then, okay, and then I was confused because this is the scene where they're playing soccer. And I was like, is it gym class? Did we make the soccer team? Is this rec soccer? Are we at the YMCA? Is it still school? I feel like maybe, because it looks like we're in uniforms, but then there was also like a cheerleader thing happening, and that was weird because there were soccer balls. So what are we doing?
I think it was tryouts.
Okay, yeah, then I found out
the
it was
high school. But can we talk about those short shorts?
Okay, Johnny had the shortest shorts, so I don't know what he's trying to tell us.
Those karate legs, am I right? Oh, me, oh my. Yikes. I was like...
No.
And also at that time, okay, there's a lot of trends that I know will come back, and that's just what it is. Like, guys wear short shorts, bathing suits now, whatever. But it was like the sweatpant material. So it was like tight, short sweatpants. You're like,
which, like, stains so easily.
It was so creepy to me that they were like this band of like 5 stupid white kids with their stupid matching haircuts, and they all looked the same.
They all had blonde hair.
And they were like
guys,
all terrifyingly psychotic. And I just was like, wait, are you actually like cool in your school, in your karate gang? Because like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, where's the football kids to beat you up? Because like, what's happening?
We need the T-Birds and Danny Zuko to put you guys in your place, because this is ridiculous.
Dingleberries on parade.
They are definitely dingleberries on parade. 100%. Oh my god. Yeah, so I didn't realize that was soccer tryouts, but I guess it was. And then he literally gets kicked out because of the bullies, so that sucks. I mean, do those bullies even have time for soccer? It seems like karate is like a lot of our lives, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't either.
So he starts getting close with Mr. Miyagi then, and I kind of forget why. Oh, because, okay. Well, yes, Mr. Miyagi fixes the sink, and then Daniel's trying to do karate from a book.
From a book.
It's the 80s!
Even Mr. Miyagi was like, karate from a book? I was like, I know, bro. You're thinking what we're all thinking. By the way, I have decided that my life would be better if I could speak like Mr. Miyagi, not his like accent, but like it's you're gonna give me the giggle. Stop. Oh my god.
It's just because I'm thinking of something and I'm not gonna say it until you're done. So.
Okay. Instead of using like 12 words in a sentence, he uses 2. He's like, okay, come now, happy, eat food, fun. He's conserves so much energy, and then he like wasted trying to get flies with chopsticks, but I love his life.
I thought you were getting at, like, he doesn't say a lot of words, but then there's, like, pauses between words, and my mind immediately went to, oh my god, for podcast editing, there's gonna be a lot of pauses in there, oh my god, sweating, but I got you, I get what you're saying. But so, there's the soccer tryouts, and then I think immediately after that is the gang, they're not done with their potential serial killing.
No.
They try to throw Daniel off a cliff, in my opinion.
Which reminded you of what movie, Kate?
Oh no, throwing people off a cliff.
Blank Never Dies.
Goonies Never Die! Oh, with what was his name? Brand? Whatever. I don't know. It was Thanos. Okay. So then he gets thrown down a hill on his bike and he gets beat up and then he goes home and that's when he has a little fit and he's like, I hate California! And then the mom sees him and it's a whole thing. Okay, so now he doesn't have a bike and then Mr. Miyagi fixes the bike because he's Mr. Miyagi. And oh, by the way, Mr. Miyagi is the biggest eavesdropper I've ever seen on film to date because he literally, it's like every scene, he's like somewhere nearby and then his head just like pops out of a door and then there's that weird little emotional flute sound where it's like,
a part of me thought this seemed, we're bordering racism here because it's always like, I'm like, no. He lives in California. Like, you can't, we're not like, the scene doesn't shift to Japan, and that makes sense. It's a little extra.
They played that sound every time it was like a weird dramatic like moment and I was like, this is getting too much. Like, now I want to get a soundbite of that on my phone to just kind of play when someone like is being like really extra because I think it would work.
They come around the corner and you're just like, he really is though. He's always just like, oh, he doesn't like, he keeps getting beat up. Oh, karate from a book. Oh, I'll fix your bike. Like,
he's literally fixing the sink and he's not even looking at the sink. He's like crouched down and then he like peeks up and he's just like looking at Daniel. I was like, focus! You have a job to do. What's happening? But his fixing of the bike is what then leads him and Daniel to start bonding. And what do they bond over, Bridge?
Bonsai!
Bonsai trees!
I like that little thing they got there. That's pretty cute.
I did like that too. I've always wanted to have like a bonsai tree myself. And then I was really jealous when Mr. Miyagi's just freaking handing them out to anyone who walks in his door. He's like, oh, your mom's here? Here's a little tree. Daniel, take this little tree. Anyone else out there? Take a little tree. I have $1 billion.
We have to question where Mr. Miyagi's money is coming from because he's got like 8 cars. He got obviously 100,000 bonsai trees, a huge new fence, a backyard that looks fit for a king.
Yeah.
What's going on? Where's he getting it? He's a maintenance guy.
Listen, maybe there's some, Sopranos in California and perhaps this is an underlying theme. No? Okay. Sorry. Oh God. Yeah, but that is cute. Like, they just kind of start hanging and then they, from there, just keep hanging out. Like, you just kind of randomly will see him and they're like, well, now we're friends.
Which is, like, kind of cute because
it is.
Honestly, okay, I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'm like, there's no boss. I'm like the only maintenance dude around. I'm bored. And this kid obviously has no friends and he always has black eyes. I'll be nice to him. Like, I thought, like, what else are you gonna do? That's nice. And then we run quickly into the let's dress you like a shower for Halloween.
Oh my God. I was like, that's pretty amazing.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised I haven't seen that, like, recreated at all in my lifetime. I really don't think I have, ever.
Kate,
come on, people.
This could be your year.
Well, no, I mean, we did talk about me dressing up as Gandalf and then raving by myself in the corner with a beard on. So.
I don't know, with COVID the way it is, you could have a shower that's just like a 6 feet perimeter around you.
Yeah, this would have been a great COVID costume. Oh, man. And then somehow the girl Allie is like, that's Daniel. And the friends are like, how do you know? She's like, I know. I was like, okay, but how did you know? Like, what if it wasn't him? That would have been weird.
And she really, like, her friends are like, why are you so obsessed with the guy? And she's like, I don't know, he's different. And I'm like, dude, this is like a movie thing. Because I don't really believe that you're totally in love with this new guy. He was nice to you about your stereo.
He was
Besides
nice to
that,
her.
there's, I don't know.
She was a little Vicky Vale, you know, she was kind of like, hey, I just met you, this is crazy, but we're going to date, whether you like it or not. And you're like, oh no.
I have all your photos.
I have your photos, Daniel-san. I'm not gonna lie though, I didn't hate their chemistry. I thought they were
good.
kind of cute. But you did say it earlier, there were way too many scenes
Way too many.
of them.
Way too many.
That whole, like, subplot where he's gonna go meet her at the country club and then her and Johnny start dancing and then he sees it. You could have cut out that whole part and then the whole part where he's trying to, like, go talk to her after, which we need to go back to because I had questions about that. You didn't need that because it was such a waste. And you're like, okay, they're upset with each other for 1 minute and then the next minute they're not. So, like, why did we do that?
They tried to fit way too much.
Yeah.
It was distracting. I'm like, dude, Mr. Miyagi is having the acting experience of his life, and why doesn't he have more screen time? This is amazing.
know.
Like, I don't give a shit about their love.
I know. We do get a lot more of Mr. Miyagi once, like I said, he beats up the children, which I thought was awesome.
Well, and that, like, you mentioned it in the synopsis where this is when basically Daniel's like, yeah, I'm gonna prank him because I can't keep running from them my whole life, and then he ends up running from them
His whole life, yeah.
Also, he references calling Mr. Miyagi Spider-Man.
Spider-Man! I know!
That's an awesome trivia for you.
Well, part of me too was like, did you say that because when he was running out of the bathroom, there was a kid dressed like Spider-Man? So I was like, are you just like, do you have a concussion? And this is a bad screenwriting way of telling me you have a concussion. But no, I think he just says that and I don't really, I'm not sure.
Are you concussed?
Are you concussed? We should all go to the doctor and the cops, by the way, but we never do that.
He has like multiple injuries.
Yes.
Almost dies multiple times. The doctor doesn't exist.
No.
Cops don't exist. Every time his mom finds out, she's like, oh, but the pool, the palm trees, you'll be okay. Oh, Daniel. Oh, God.
Oh no. So he's like, Mr. Miyagi, you know karate, you're better than a book, let's do it. And Mr. Miyagi's like, no. And then he's like, come on, Mr. Miyagi. And then they start talking about, because there was a scene where Daniel, I guess, like, after, like, the first time he gets beat up, he's like, oh, I know what I'll do. Like, again, he's got this idea, like, I gotta learn karate to defend myself / have revenge. And so he's like, let me go to this local karate studio. And that's where he sees, like, oh, wait, this is literally all the bullies, and their teacher is a bully, and I'm afraid. So he promptly leaves.
Kate, what movie does that remind you of? When he first walked in, and there's the crazy looking dude on the walls.
Oh my god!
Go,
Napoleon Dynamite! Where he was like, bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. I was like, oh my god. I wish I would pay money for someone to reshoot that scene with Kip and Napoleon, and they're just trying to follow along with, like, his instructions, and then he just, like, slams Napoleon to the ground and yells in his face. Amazing.
For only $3,000 a year. What? I don't have any money. Oh my god. Yes, that
honestly.
So okay, this movie does a really good job of the story, and it was cool seeing, like, okay, he knew a little bit of karate, right? He kicks the door, you know, and then he's getting beat up because bad timing with the girl. Like, there wasn't anything that I'm like, karate, dude, where did this come from?
Right.
And I don't know, I like felt so bad for him. I'm like, he even goes to the, like, he tries to do it right. He's like, I'm gonna sign up for class, and oh, just kidding, all the scary people are here.
Just kidding. This is run by serial killers, and I'm in danger.
Oh my God.
Well, but then that's where he's like, Mr. Miyagi and him, I don't know how this subject came up. I think he might have maybe told Mr. Miyagi, like, that he went to this place, because Mr. Miyagi starts talking about there's no such thing as a bad student, which I'm like, yes, Mr. Miyagi, I love that. And then Mr. Miyagi goes, there's only a bad teacher. And then this prompts the conversation where he's like, well, that teacher at school, something's happening, because I'm afraid. And then he's like, Mr. Miyagi, come with me to the school. And then Mr. Miyagi's like, no. And then Daniel Daniel has a little fit again, and then Mr. Miyagi's like, JK, let's do it. And you're like, wow.
But, okay, even with his, like, I didn't like Daniel at moments, it proved he was a teenager.
Yes.
Like, it was purposeful.
Yeah, no, he was never, like, I never disliked Daniel, honestly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times his emotions were kind of justified.
Yeah.
But we also have a little emotional flute music where Daniel's like, I'm gonna leave. And then Mr. Miyagi, without looking at him, is like, I'll go. And then it's like, and you're like, okay, that flute person must have got paid well because they have a lot of solos.
Well, and that Daniel's like, don't do me any favors.
So they go to the karate place. Oh, by the way, this is where Daniel commits his first felony. He drives without a license as per Mr. Miyagi's peer pressure.
Who also doesn't have a license.
Yes, multiple felonies. This car probably does not have insurance. It's not registered. He got it from Detroit again. I think there's mob
Mr. Miyagi has a lot of cars. No license. ...
Questions are mounting.
Okay.
So when we go to Cobra Kai, which is the karate studio, you, again, it's kind of like the same setup. It's the same group of children that we saw. They're all like in the same spots. The scary guy is there. He's yelling at them. And he has two kids like fight. And then he's like, finish him! Like it's Mortal Kombat.
Dude,
which it's like
terrifying.
So ridiculous. Oh my God. And then Daniel's like, we should go. And I go, Mr. Miyagi is like, no, we're not leaving. This is literally a train wreck. Because it was.
Yes. I want Mr. Miyagi with me if I'm having a negotiation because
definitely. He was so calm.
And he's so calm and he kind of never really like goes in with a plan. He just sees what happens, which is ultimately defense, his teaching style. But the guy was like, let's fight now. Let's do this. And again, in like 2 lines, Mr. Miyagi's like, 5-1, problem. 1-1, okay. And he's like, well, let him fight here, 1-1. He's like, you're a dojo. Unfair advantage. I'm like, oh my God, why can't I speak like him? It's so efficient. I love him. And then the guy, and then when they decide on the competition, and then he's like, one more thing, you can't beat him up until then. And the crazy coach goes, you're a little pushy, aren't you?
Yeah, but then he's like, I like that. And he with like the crazy eyes.
I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid.
Stay 3 feet away from me at all times.
I'm so afraid.
Yep.
Yes. And then that is when we get to the best freaking part of the movie, which I will argue, and not to compare Three Ninjas, which is way worse than this movie, but Three Ninjas just gives you the action on how they warm up and like how they become ninjas. There's air quotes, people.
There are.
We had to work so hard to finally get to training, and we all didn't know why he was doing like his waxing and sanding and painting, and it was brilliant. I loved it.
We had to do a TLC TV show homemaker style to get to our karate master status.
God.
Could you imagine if every like HGTV house renovation show, everyone came out and they're like, now I know karate. Wow, what a day.
Who is creating that show for Mr. Miyagi? Like, who is doing that right now?
I don't know. It would be so awesome.
Oh my God. It was so good because it just was so authentic. Both of them. Like, it fit with his personality. It fit with Mr. Miyagi. I still don't understand how he pays for everything and how he has this like weird house and I don't even know.
He's like Tom Sawyer. I feel like he probably just tricks local people into doing chores for him and then maybe that's how everything gets done. And then he's like, oh, you also learned karate in a way.
He's
so
like everyone's karate sensei in the county. Oh my God.
But again, I liked how even though Daniel is like getting asked to do all these like kind of what you think are kind of random things, he isn't like annoying about it. Like he like clearly respects Mr. Miyagi and he's like, all right, like I don't get it, but I'll do it. And the only time that he gets annoyed is when he does the fence painting and Mr. Miyagi, like he comes in the scene, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and then he's like, all right, bye. And then he just like leaves. And you're like, are you going on a date? Like, where are you going? It's nighttime. That's so weird. And then the next scene, Daniel goes back to the house. Mr. Miyagi's still not there. We don't know where he is.
Mr. Miyagi!
I have questions, and I wonder if Tony Soprano's involved. And then he has to paint the house. And you're like, you know what? I don't know. Was Mr. Miyagi, like, doing a hit somewhere? And, like, he was just doing, like, an alibi that he was fishing?
Too many mobster movies. I'm not believing it. No. I wanted him to go have a one-night stand and have some fun.
Maybe he did do that, but, like, we didn't get to see that.
But it was really cool when Daniel then freaks out and is really pissed because Mr. Miyagi pulls what everyone has experienced when they're so tired and someone goes, you missed a spot. And then you want to go, that's, like, if I'm, like, cooking and I'm really tired at the end of the day and Moses is like, oh, you're going to make that? I'm like, like, I want to throw the pan. I'm like, I understand, Daniel. But he handles it so well because in his, like, 2-word sentence, he's like, come here, wax off, paint house, paint fence. And you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. I thought I would not like the movie as much. I think I had, like, a lower bar for it. It was great. I loved it.
That, because the whole, like, second half is better, in my opinion. Like, it's
much better.
It is, like, it's tiring to see, like, all these bullies, and they're so, like, that's, I don't know. Maybe that was real at some point, and that stuff happened, but, like, that's not, like, super realistic. They could have had, like, way less scenes of that, and we still would have got the gist that, like, they're not the good guys, everyone.
And
like,
we're all
they're
afraid.
The bad guys, and we're afraid. All dispersed throughout this, Daniel and Allie are going on, like, random dates, and again, like, meh, whatevs. I mean, they do go on a cute date, though, to some place that, like,
so fun.
Looks like a fun time.
Like a super fun time. Although, I know, Kate, we are pro women and go female empowerment, whatever. But did you notice in their date montage that everything that was an activity, Allie was helping Daniel, like, learn how to do it? Like, I'm pretty sure she let him win in foosball and he got so excited and she was like, oh, way to go. Then they go to mini golf and she's helping him hit the ball from behind. Did you remember any of this?
I did not notice any of that.
I was like, why is Allie, like, being the stereotypical male in the 80s? Like, I was so confused, but maybe it just came and went and whatever.
Maybe the movie was like, see guys, Daniel's so poor, he's never gone mini golf. What a loser. Only country club people know how to mini golf. Wow.
You're poor and from Jersey.
He's poor. Oh my God. And his nice mom is driving him around. What a loser. Ugh, I cannot.
Okay, we eventually get into, Kate, the...
kicking a wave at the beach?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That's not what you were looking at.
My notes were way farther down.
Oh no.
I was thinking about when Mr. Miyagi gets wasted.
Yo, he gets drunk.
Ooh.
But, like, it's sad.
It is.
I didn't remember that part of the movie.
I cried.
I cried too. Oh my God. Wait, so I cried when I should say I teared up. I wasn't like, oh my God. But when he was like, it's my anniversary. And I was like, oh no, it's so sad. And then I got a little teary-eyed when not when he passed out, but when Daniel then is like, he tucked him into bed. He's like, oh, babe.
And he, like, blew out the candle.
Oh, wait, what? What candle?
There was, like, a candle lit, and I kept thinking, like, this ain't good. And he was like, Daniel literally, like, was like, blew out the candle, read about how his poor wife and unborn child died while she was giving birth.
Oh, is that... Okay, so I didn't understand how she died. I just knew she died, and I kind of missed...
He was at war, and she was giving birth to their son, and she died giving birth, which, like, I mean, honestly, okay, I'm gonna feed into your Sopranos thing. I would join the mob after that life, you know?
Just have a bunch of gumas.
Oh my God. Yeah, but that was really, really sad. And also, then you understand that it's not just, like, Daniel needing a father figure. Mr. Miyagi wouldn't mind a son. And then, like, tears came. So cute. My heart. heart. Oh, I could cry again.
The movie did a good job of not making that, like, super obvious all throughout. Like, you kind of make, like you said, you only make that connection fully during this scene, and it's never like Mr. Miyagi trying to act like a dad. He's just kind of there for him, and they get along, and, like, it's a nice little relationship. Oh my god, and then he makes him a birthday cake! Get out of town! It's so sweet!
And gives him the 2 best presents you could ever get at his age.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that was another part I teared up at when he gets the one present that is a, like, karate uniform, and it has the, like, I guess it was like a,
the bonsai.
Oh, it was but he was like, my wife made this.
Yeah, the patch.
And that's when I teared up, because I was like, oh, because then Daniel's like, you know, I know this is really special to you, so you can have this back. And he was like, I know. Or he said 2 words that were sweet, and you're like, ah! And then he gives him a car like it's his Super Sweet 16 MTV style. It was amazing. Oh my god.
No, not only does he give him a car, he goes, pick whatever one you want. I'm like,
yeah!
What? No, MTV Sweet 16 can't even compare to that. That's
no, because none of those children would ever wash or wax a car. It's not comparable.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So sweet.
And it was smooth because it's his birthday, and he goes, you got your license, right? He goes, yeah, look, I got my license. And so, oh my god, like so the cutest freaking thing ever. And I think at this point he was like, you're my best friend ever. And I was like,
wait, hold on. I need to find where he says that, because that's where I cried again. I was like, he does. He goes, you're the best friend I ever had. Oh, it's so sweet.
Okay, we gotta come back out.
Sorry.
So then he frantically says, Mr. Miyagi, I gotta go. My mom is waiting for me with some cake. And Mr. Miyagi goes, listen, you gotta balance life, and I think you got like a hottie that you should be dating, and don't always think about karate, and just like go have fun. And then he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna screw my mom and then just go meet up with Allie.
He totally does. I thought about that too. I was like, wait, you just like left your mom again. But don't worry, we don't see the mom, so who knows what happened. It is an awkward turtle.
So awkward. And then, of course, Allie's like, what are you doing there? And her friends were just as extra as 16 Candles.
Oh, yes.
Literally, they're like, leave her alone. Take a hint.
Okay, wait. So this is where I had questions, because this is all taking place after the whole debacle where he was going to meet her at the country club, and then there's Dancing with Johnny, and then he runs into a waiter, and he gets spaghetti on his face, and adults laugh at the child. Okay. So he leaves. Like, he doesn't even talk to Allie at that. I think she sees him, but whatever. So now this is the first time they're seeing each other again, and she's mad at him?
Oh, I know.
Why is she mad at him?
I would be mad at her if I was him.
He walks up and he apologizes, and I was like, did I miss a scene? Why are you apologizing? And nobody explains it, and then she keeps being mad, and he's like, oh my god, what do? I gotta make her unmad. And then the girl was like, well, like, you know, she punched Johnny, and like, of course she didn't mean it. And I was like, right, so you're explaining why Daniel should not be mad. I'm still not getting the part why she is mad. It made no sense.
She was super late to the date, so he had to come in, and he comes in and he sees her kissing the man who's been terrorizing his life, and then he has to apologize. I'm with you. I thought it was stupid. But that's why the whole love story is like, okay, let's just go back to like the cool Mr. Miyagi and him and like training.
Well, thank God we do, because now it's the karate tournament! Oh man, and the first thing we see is they're like checking in, and the guy is like, what belt are you? And then Daniel's like, what's a belt? And he's like, you have to be brown or black. So Mr. Miyagi goes, he's a black belt, and then he steals a black belt from the guy's bag. Amazing.
How cool is he?
Amazing. He's so cool.
I've been thinking through this whole movie, I want to drink with Mr. Miyagi. I want to stand decks with Mr. Miyagi. I want to do everything. I want to cut bonsai trees. I want to go fishing with him. I want to do everything.
Oh my god.
And then they continue their scheme where they go, wait, you two can't go out there. And then he goes, oh, she's the translator. He doesn't speak English. And I thought this was so funny. He says something, whatever. They have like a stupid dialogue, and the guy's like, okay, you could go ahead. And Mr. Miyagi goes, thank you. Or like something. And he like walks away or something. It was so funny.
great. And then, like, they get in there and Daniel's like, what do I do, Mr. Miyagi? And Mr. Miyagi's like, I don't know. I've never been to one of these.
I don't know. You should know me by now. I don't plan. I just come up I defend.
Fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy.
But Allie knew everything. Get out of here.
Thank you. I was like, no you don't, girl. I know you're not paying attention to that stuff.
She literally rolled up and she was like, okay, points above the belt. You can't go below the belt. Here's the rules. It's a piece of cake. Okay, you got it. She like hits him on the back. I was like, where did you come from?
I know, I didn't get that. It was weird. But yeah, I mean, I guess the whole, like, you have to hit them and get 3 points.
Yes.
That's like, whoever gets 3 points first wins. But then you can also get pushed out of the ring and then you don't lose a point, which was confusing to me, but I don't know. So Daniel, man, he wins, like, a lot. Okay, but also, again, we have our favorite serial killers. Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai. They're so scary. They're all chanting it in the place, and I'm afraid. Oh, this is when it's, you're the best around. Number, bring me down. So good. The best around.
Oh my god.
So good.
I literally just have so many exclamation points where I'm like, scary dudes, Daniel's killing it. Scary dudes, Daniel's killing it. Like, so I couldn't find on the internet if they actually, like, did karate. I mean, you knew it was them doing karate. Like, the special effects were not good enough back then.
No.
To, like, I don't know, somehow mask it wasn't them. But I think that's what made it really good. Like, it was kind of like some Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone vibes.
Yeah.
Like, this feels
I did get that
real.
vibe.
This feels real. This feels authentic. And the moves were, like, age appropriate. Like, that was the thing. With the 3 ninjas, I was like, yo, these, like, little kids are, like, real freaking good. And then these adults were dumb and, like, couldn't fight them back. But
right.
This was, like, it was a bunch of, like, scary, angry, hopped up, angry teenagers. I don't know. Like, teenage boys. You're like, okay.
I will say, though, I did feel like, and I think it had a little more, like, screen time because it was, like, the semifinals when you see Johnny fighting. Like, he honestly was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing crazy kicks and they were, like, high and they would be, like, 3 in a row. And I was like, that's insane. Like, that's hard to do. So that was cool. But also, I'm afraid of you and don't look me in the eyeballs or else I'm gonna cry.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then this is where Daniel gets his leg broken.
So, and the talk with the scariest coach ever is like, take him out of commission. And in my head, I kept thinking, what does that mean? Does that mean like a punch to the face? Like knock him out? Does that mean like kick him in the balls? Like, what does that mean? But when he landed, he literally did a high flying kick and like hit his knee. And I gotta tell you, from lacrosse, I have like a lot of scary fears of ACL injuries because so many of like the people I knew had ACL injuries. That's all I thought. I was like, his ACL is out. He's done. And instead, we don't know what has happened to him.
I don't know.
The doctor says nothing. We don't know if it's a bruise. We don't know if anything's broken. We just know
doctor's
nothing.
Just like, I'll go tell them you're not doing anything.
Oh my God. What? Kate, you know what I wrote when the coach was like, take him out of commission? I was like, yo, this is some old school Gordon Bombay.
Daniel-san.
You know?
Oh,
Daniel-san.
I didn't take work off to see my kids cheat.
Yeah. Or the Iceland coach. Like, this is like the karate equivalent of the Iceland coach from Mighty Ducks 2.
I'm just gonna make a statement. Any listeners that are getting all these jokes, you are my people. Because you have listened to all these episodes, and if you get these references, you are my people. I freaking love you, because I'm kind of going a lot today. So, yeah. I love you.
So this whole part, again, I said it in my synopsis, I like how Allie and the mom are like, you know what? It happened. It sucks. But you know what? You did so awesome. Blah, blah, blah. And like, honestly, that's a normal reaction in my opinion. And even Mr. Miyagi was like, you did your best. You tried. Blah, blah, blah. No one's trying to push him because I will tell you, I thought of the Olympics with this, where there's a lot of people talking about with Simone Biles, how she pulled out, and it's kind of prompting this conversation of people to be like, that's not normal for us to expect an athlete to do something when they're injured. Yeah. Because that happens a lot, and that was a lot of what happened in gymnastics.
The 96, when Carrie some drugs.
I don't know.
That story is even more insane because she basically broke her ankle/leg and then was like, you have to continue with the jump. But they were winning by so much that if you actually did the math back then, she didn't. So it was just for like the psychotic hype of the sport and I think now you have all these people, they're so ignorant. Like, these women break their freaking necks and are paralyzed and die for you to sit on your fat eating potato chips saying, get up there and do it again.
Well, and I think, like, again, a lot of people who know this movie know this is the ending where he is injured, but he tries to go out anyway. What I did not remember, and I liked that the movie did this, is, again, nobody who was affiliated with him was trying to push him.
Yes.
They were all like, you did so great.
Yes.
Like, this is so amazing what you did. And he himself, which is its own conversation, was kind of like, and I really think what changes it is when he goes to Mr. Miyagi and he's like, do you think I could have won? And then Mr. Miyagi at first is like, oh, it's not about that. And then he's like, but like, what do you think? And then he's like, yeah, I think you could have. And then that's what he's like, I want to go back out. And then Mr. Miyagi, because he loves him, because he's his like pretend dad, is like, let me do some, you know, magician witch magic. And I don't know what he does. It was a little Space Jammy. I was like, is this like a like placebo effect where you're just like pretending to do something? And then Daniel's like, now my leg's fixed. And I'm like, it's still broken, I think, but all right.
Okay, let me add one point though to this. Daniel makes a good point where Mr. Miyagi goes, you already got respect from them. And he goes, yeah, but I didn't win. And the big scary dude who I was gonna like basically take down, I need to like stand up to him, and this is my way, or else I'm just gonna keep getting bullied my whole life. So kind of like the Olympic comparison, the difference is like Daniel is literally fighting for his life.
Well, unfortunately,
these kids are like literally stalking him and trying to kill him. So I think that piece was really interesting, because if you have ever had, which God forbid, let's hope you never had, somebody who is a bully to you and is not stopping, sometimes, and I will say, this is a dad quote, you gotta punch him in the freaking face. You do! I mean, sometimes you do. And I think that was like the added element to it.
I don't condone punching in the face, but that's because I teach children and I have to prevent that from happening. But you could do a metaphorical punch in the face, perhaps.
Yes.
Figure out what that looks like to you.
Okay, yeah.
But this final fight is pretty entertaining. I mean, it's very, like, quick, and at first Daniel's kind of up with points, and then Johnny gets up. But here's, again, my question, because the kid that Daniel was going against in the semifinals gets disqualified because he, like, hits his leg. Okay, Johnny does the same thing?
Same thing.
And then the ref is like, hey, that's a warning, kid. I was like, what are the rules here? What is happening?
I think literally the refs are afraid of Johnny. They're like, oh, whatever you say, kid.
So scary.
Yeah.
But then Daniel does his crane kick to the face, which technically Mr. Miyagi never taught him, if we're getting technical. But
honestly, it's so good. It's so good. Like, do you know how many times as a little kid I tried to, like, do that kick and got, like, a foot off the ground, but felt so cool?
Kicks are hard. I know. I will say, though, very similar to, honestly, similar, like, Goodfellas, this ending felt a little abrupt to me.
I
kind of wanted
it.
I wanted to celebrate a little bit more. I wanted more. And then it just kind of, you know, we saw Mr. Miyagi's creepy smile. And then the movie was like, that's enough for today. We're done.
Please make that a meme, Katie. Please make his face
has
in me.
to be already.
I wrote in my notes, geez, let a girl enjoy victory a little.
I know. Like, everyone runs out so quickly. They're like, oh my God. And then Johnny is like, here's the trophy. Now we're friends. And I was like, Johnny, you better figure it out, because I don't know where your head's at right now, but I'm afraid for you because your coach might kill you in the locker room.
He literally goes, you all right, LaRusso? You all right? He was like kind of like crying and sad, and I don't even know. I wanted to soak that up.
These will be my last words before I die.
Oh my God. Kate, would you tell people to watch it or don't watch it?
I would definitely watch it.
Definitely watch it. This held up. I mean, it has stupid parts, but wow, not too shabby, Karate Kid. Which, did you know that name is a Marvel name?
Karate Kid?
Yes.
I did not know that. Is he a superhero? We didn't realize it?
Yes. Some part of the thing I don't know about, but because of our Marvel exhibit, I saw that fact on the internet and thought, I gotta tell Katie this. I thought you'd know it. Maybe not.
What?
Something to look up afterwards.
Okay, I love it.
Wowie, did we just get into that? And folks, we hope this pumps you up for the Olympics, crane and all.
Well, speaking of the Olympics, it's my turn to pick movie. So,
do it. Do the one I want. Do it.
I know, but all right, here's the thing, though.
Okay.
Let me tell you the thing. I know what movie you want, and I am willing to do that movie. However, when I went on IMDb, it was rated much lower than I remember, and then I got nervous and sweaty, and then when I scrolled down and it told me other movies that are similar to it, another one popped up that's from the exact same year that is also somewhat Olympics related. So,
wow.
But they are very different. So, I don't know.
Go with the wild card. Go with the wild card.
You want the wild card?
Yeah, I do.
All right, you're going to like the wild card.
Because if it's somewhat sports related, it is. Such, as I've said in the past, a sucker. Like, I love it.
Okay, so this is a comedy, drama, romance, and sports. Ooh. It doesn't say sports, but it's sports.
Okay. This
movie came out in 2002. It has, I would say, a handful of, like, pretty famous people in here, but this is a movie with almost all British actors and actresses.
I have no idea.
This is a movie that focuses on a sport that Bridget played for many, many years, and our brother played for many, many years, and Katie played for probably 3 years, and I would sit in the back of the field and pick flowers instead of running after the ball because I hated running. This is the 2002 movie Bend It Like Beckham.
Hey! Yeah. Oh my God. Keira Knightley playing the role I think she was dreamed to play.
Yeah, she's good in this.
And she should not play any, like, doting, like, weak princesses anymore. She should play the super duper lesbian soccer player.
She's not a lesbian!
Oh.
She makes out with the coach! Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Doesn't her mom call her that or something?
Yeah, her mom thinks she's a lesbian because she wears sports bras. And I was like, what is this? This is a dumb subplot.
So
but
stupid.
Early 2000s.
That movie is so good. I can't wait.
It's really good.
I think it gets a little creepy with the coach, no?
Well, yeah, we're gonna...
Maybe that doesn't hold up.
So the coach is Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, and he's attractive.
Oh, yeah.
And then the main star of the movie plays the girl Jess. Her name is Parminder Nagra.
Okay.
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She's been in a lot of, TV shows.
She's fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, she's so good. This is just a good movie. And again, it's like one of those where you kind of get to see the culture of her family, and, they're in a different country and all that stuff. And you get to see a lot of soccer. So, woo! Yeah.
Well, Kate, I just want to tell you that if you were getting your license...
Yep.
And it was your birthday, I, first of all, would definitely have made you a cake, baked you a cake, bought you a cake, whatever cake you wanted with all the candles. And then I would make sure that you had your podcasting uniform with the special patch from Something Special. And I would also then tell you after you got your license that you could pick any one of my 8 cars that you washed and waxed outside because I love you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 style.
Yeah, Kate. Yeah.
Woo! What a day.
What a day.
Well, and Bridge.
Yeah?
I just want to say, if you were getting stalked by a gang of scary teenagers with motorbikes, and they all dress alike like they're in a gang, and they all look alike like they're in a gang, and they're a gang, and they're trying to kill you on the reg, I would call the cops.
Oh, thank God. Thank you.
And maybe the FBI. I don't know how they feel about that. Okay. That might be too much, but who knows? But yeah.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah. You're welcome. And listeners, if you also love free cars and karate, and if you don't like Johnny and his scary friends, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts and a couple other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. If you scroll down on the main page, there's a form you can fill out to request a movie. So if you are like, yo, guys, there's more Danielson son in the second movie. Then we'll be like, wow. And then if someone's like, yo, there's a third one, then we'll be like, And then if someone's like, yo, but that fourth one, we'll be like, no. So, use that to your discretion. But we love that. And we will do it, even if it's a movie we've never seen.
I was just going to say, so come request your movie. If we hate it, we won't. I mean, we will. I mean, we love you.
No, we've done movies on here that were requested that we've never seen. And we always have a good time. Whatever we do, we have a good time. So check all that out. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
You can buy us coffee. There is a Ko-Fi site. We just got some new moolah. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Thank you very much. Mel,
yeah!
I love you so much, and you also requested some movies that I'm, spoiler alert, Kate, I definitely am picking one of those next week, because I read the list, and I love the options.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that Mel requested that are... good ones. Yeah. Mel had also requested our Moulin Rouge episode, so you can go back and listen to that one, listeners. That's a good one.
She's the best. And she gave a quote for that, didn't she?
She gave us a quote for Scream as well. So if you want to, be creepy and hear Mel's voice,
if you want to be Johnny,
if you want to stalk our friend, you can go do that.
I felt like she had a great podcasting voice.
She does.
Hey, if we made shirts and tank tops, would you guys buy them? Well, what do you think,
I was
Kate?
waiting for that response.
Can you edit in yeah, woo, you're the best.
You guys can email us if you would be interested in something like that, because we have a lot of
we got some ideas. Yeah.
Lots of ideas. But, if no one's going to buy them, then we won't do them.
No. But we're just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, back to the Olympics, and I just hope you guys all have a great week and love this movie as much as us.
Yes. And we'll do more Olympic-esque commentary next week for Bend It Like Beckham. I was going to do a hi-ya, and then I held it back because I was wrong. No hi-yas in soccer.
No. I don't even know what they say.
They're probably like,
Go!
Just go! Yeah.
There you go. Well,
all right, listeners.
Thanks so much. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. We will see y'all next week.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
You're the best around. Ooh, nothing's gonna ever take you down. You're the best. Ooh, around. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.